In the year 1407, during the reign of the Yongle Emperor of the Ming Dynasty, a crimson moon hung low over the Forbidden City. The air was heavy with the scent of incense and the faint rustle of silk robes as courtiers hurried through the dimly lit halls of the imperial palace. A secret loomed in the shadows, one that could alter the fate of the dynasty itself. In the ancient town of Suzhou, known for its canals and skilled artisans, a young herbalist named Liang Wei toiled in his dimly lit apothecary. His hands, stained with the deep green of ground herbs, moved deftly over a wooden table. Liang was no ordinary healer. Whispers claimed his family guarded an ancient secret, one that had kept emperors alive through the centuries, the art of blood transfusion. One fateful evening, as Liang prepared a salve for a merchant's son, the clatter of hoofs shattered the quiet. A royal envoy, clad in the emperor's colors of gold and crimson, dismounted outside the apothecary. "Envoy, urgent, Liang Wei, son of the famed healer, you are summoned to the Forbidden City. The emperor's life hangs by a thread." Liang's heart raced. Though honored by the summons, he knew the journey would be perilous. The knowledge his family possessed was both a gift and a curse. The next morning, Liang set off for the capital, accompanied by the envoy. The road was treacherous, flanked by dense forests that whispered of bandits and unseen eyes. Liang clutched a small leather pouch close to his chest. Inside were the tools of his trade and a vial of an ancient elixir said to purify blood. At dusk, they reached the grand gates of the Forbidden City. The sheer scale of the palace overwhelmed Liang. Gold-plated roofs shimmered under the moonlight, and dragon carvings seemed to writhe in the flickering torchlight. Inside the emperor's private chambers, the atmosphere was tense. Court physicians hovered around the pale and unconscious Yongle emperor. His breath was shallow, his once vibrant face ashen. Liang stepped forward, his voice steady despite his trembling hands. "Liang, your majesty, with your permission, I shall begin the procedure. But I must warn you, this method has never been attempted on one of your noble lineage." The Empress Dowager, her eyes rimmed with tears, nodded. "Empress Dowager, pleading, if it is his only hope, then proceed." Liang worked through the night. Using hollowed jade needles and silk tubing, he performed the transfusion, drawing blood from a healthy soldier and transferring it to the emperor. The room was silent but for the rhythmic dripping of blood and the murmur of prayers. As dawn broke, the emperor's breathing steadied, and color returned to his cheeks. The court erupted in relief, but Liang's reprieve was short-lived. A eunuch approached Liang, his expression cold. "Eunuch, by order of the emperor, you are to be detained. Such knowledge cannot leave these walls." Liang's eyes widened. The very skill that had saved the emperor was now deemed a threat. "Liang, desperate, I have served faithfully. My family's legacy is one of healing, not treachery." But his protests were in vain. Guards dragged him away, his tools confiscated, and his fate uncertain. As Liang languished in a dark cell, he reflected on his actions. He knew that his knowledge was a double-edged sword, coveted yet feared. Meanwhile, the emperor, now fully recovered, began to question the loyalty of those around him. The court, ever a hive of intrigue, buzzed with rumors of a healer who could cheat death. A young servant girl, who had watched Liang's procedure in secret, vowed to carry on his work. With each passing day, she memorized his techniques, determined to one day share his gift with the world. The moon hung low, its silver glow illuminating the Forbidden City like a ghostly sentinel. Liang Wei sat in the cold, damp cell beneath the emperor's palace, his thoughts racing. Though he had saved the emperor's life, his family's sacred art of healing had become a threat. Betrayed, but not defeated, Liang resolved to preserve his knowledge, even if it meant risking his life. As the palace buzzed with celebrations of the emperor's recovery, a young Mei Lin cautiously approached the dungeon. Mei Lin had witnessed Liang's procedure from the shadows, her sharp mind memorizing every detail. Mei Lin, whispering, "Master Liang, I know what you did. They may lock you away, but your knowledge must not die here." Liang, startled by the girl's boldness, stepped closer to the iron bars. "Liang, horse, why would you risk this? Do you understand the cost of what you're doing?" Mei Lin, resolute, "I owe my life to this palace, but I owe my future to knowledge. Teach me, and I will ensure your legacy lives on." Though hesitant, Liang saw the determination in Mei Lin's eyes. He began to recount his family's techniques, drawing diagrams in the dust on the floor. The emperor, now revitalized, convened his court. Ministers praised his miraculous recovery, but some questioned the risks of allowing such forbidden practices to exist. Minister Zhang, sternly, "Your Majesty, this knowledge is dangerous. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could disrupt the natural order." The emperor, torn between gratitude and paranoia, nodded. "Emperor Yongle, the healer will remain imprisoned, his tools destroyed. But we cannot let this art vanish entirely. Select a trusted scholar to document his methods, under strict secrecy." As days turned into weeks, Mei Lin smuggled food, parchment, and ink to Liang. Together, they documented his knowledge, creating a secret codex. But rumors of Mei Lin's visits began to spread among the guards. One night, a guard confronted her in the hallway. "Guard, suspicious, why do you linger near the dungeon? What business do you have with the prisoner?" Thinking quickly, Mei Lin feigned ignorance. "Mei Lin, nervous laugh, I only clean the halls, sir. The prisoner scares me. I dare not go near him." The guard narrowed his eyes but let her pass. Mei Lin knew her time was running out. Liang devised a daring plan. Using Mei Lin's knowledge of the palace layout, he planned to escape during the Mid-Autumn Festival, when the palace would be distracted by celebrations. "Liang, urgently, when the lanterns rise, meet me near the western gate. The guards will be focused on the festivities. We must act swiftly." Mei Lin hesitated, realizing the risks, but nodded. The night of the festival arrived. Lanterns floated into the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the palace. Amidst the music and laughter, Liang slipped out of his cell, aided by a crude lockpick Mei Lin had provided. Disguised as a servant, Liang moved through the palace's maze-like corridors, meeting Mei Lin at the designated spot. Mei Lin, whispering, "The gate is unguarded, but we must hurry." As they approached the gate, the sound of footsteps echoed behind them. Guards had discovered Liang's escape. "Guard, stop them." Mei Lin and Liang ran, their breaths ragged, dodging arrows and shouts. Just as the guards closed in, Mei Lin pulled a hidden lever, opening a secret passage in the palace wall. The two emerged outside the city, their clothes torn but their spirits unbroken. Liang, breathless, "You saved my life, Mei Lin. But the road ahead will not be easy." Mei Lin, smiling, "Knowledge is worth any risk. Where you go, I will follow." Together, they journeyed into the countryside, determined to protect the codex and share their healing art with those in need. The emperor sat in his chambers, gazing at the crimson moon. "Emperor Yongle, softly, Liang Wei may be gone, but his shadow remains. Perhaps some knowledge is meant to escape even the tightest grasp."